Have you ever found yourself in that familiar space um, where you just feel utterly stuck?
Oh, absolutely. That feeling.
Yeah, like maybe daily demands are just overwhelming or, deep down you want to change.
Hmm.
But that where to begin question feels like, well, like a huge wall.
It really does. Or perhaps disappointment has become, a bit too familiar.
Right, or finding it genuinely hard to trust yourself, really trust yourself, to follow through on promises you make.
Exactly. It's that quiet erosion of self-belief, isn't it? Where the idea of significant change starts to feel, well, less possible, more like a distant dream.
And that's precisely why we're taking a deep dive today into a truly profound idea.
Mm.
That real life-altering transformation isn't about those grand overnight upheavals we often imagine.
No, not at all.
Instead, it's cultivated through a more gentle, yet incredibly powerful process made up of consistent, intentional shifts in our everyday habits and mindset. Exactly. It's about building quiet self-mastery from the inside out, fostering that deep-seated emotional resilience, and perhaps most critically, developing an unwavering sense of trust in yourself,
Hmm.
even when you inevitably encounter setbacks and disappointment. Which, let's face it, we all do.
We
Yeah.
do. Our journey today is guided by illuminating insights from a powerful YouTube source, Awaken the Giant Within You, along with other compelling research that really supports these timeless principles.
Yes, really solid stuff.
Our mission, as always, is to distill the most important nuggets of wisdom for you, offering a powerful shortcut to being truly well-informed and, empowered to reshape your future.
Get ready to uncover some surprising facts and incredibly practical steps, things that can genuinely, gently transform your life from the inside out.
Let's unpack this.
Sure.
So we begin by exploring how the very first moments of your day lay the crucial groundwork for everything that follows.
Yeah.
It's more than just a start to your day.
Uh-huh.
It's a silent yet profound opportunity to set your trajectory. What's truly fascinating here is how foundational, yet simple, the first principle is. Adopting the mindset, today must be better than yesterday.
Seems almost too simple, right?
It does on the surface.
Mhm.
But this phrase, so often overlooked, holds immense power. It's not about achieving monumental success overnight or constantly comparing yourself to, your neighbor's achievements.
Right.
Instead, it's a consistent, gentle commitment to improving upon your past self.
Mm.
It's a deeply personal victory, not a public race.
And why is that particular distinction so vital, do you think? Because for so many of us, that external pressure to keep up, to achieve more, to acquire more, it's just exhausting.
It really is. This mindset truly liberates you from that relentless chase for bigger houses, vast wealth, higher status.
Mm-hmm.
It brilliantly reframes progress, not as a competitive sprint, but as a journey solely between you and your own potential.
Which feels much more manageable.
Precisely. The beauty of this principle, as highlighted in our source material, is that this daily improvement doesn't demand grand gestures. No. It could be something as simple as waking up 10 minutes earlier than you did yesterday,
Okay.
choosing water over your usual coffee, or even just making a conscious effort not to speak negatively to yourself for the entire day.
Wow.
The smallest shifts matter because they build upon one another, often without you even realizing it.
It's those tiny, almost imperceptible shifts that accumulate, isn't it? The
Mm.
source really emphasizes how these seemingly minor daily improvements quietly build inner stability, foster discipline, and strengthen self-belief over time.
Yeah, it's a powerful long-term force, even if each individual step feels insignificant in the moment.
Which is a subtle yet profound truth often missed in our pursuit of, instant gratification.
And that's the challenge, you see. Society often pushes for rapid, visible success,
It does.
making us forget that true, lasting transformation comes from sustained discipline and the willingness to repeat actions without boredom or immediate dazzling results.
Mm-hmm.
The real pitfall is focusing too much on that distant final outcome, rather than the consistent system of daily improvement.
So the core question then shifts, doesn't it? It moves from, am I where I want to be, to, did I do better than yesterday?
Exactly. That becomes the most meaningful metric.
I'm really drawn to the story of Tong from the source. He was a student from a truly humble background, frequently looked down upon by his peers.
Right, they fully expected him to remain, well, just a convenience store worker.
Yeah, that kind of judgment can really
Oh.
cut deep.
It can. But Tong,
Mhm.
he adopted this principle with quiet determination. He didn't set unrealistic goals of instant wealth or immediate retaliation against those who doubted him.
Smart.
Instead, he simply committed to small daily improvements. Reading 10 pages of a book, practicing English for 15 minutes, exercising for 10, and learning new skills from YouTube videos before bed.
He was building his future, one quiet brick at a time.
Yes.
And he never showed off his efforts, which I think is a powerful part of this story.
Not at all. He just consistently pursued them. The source makes it clear. This quiet persistence led him to an internship at an international company, immediate post-graduation employment, and eventually a management position at a multinational tech firm.
Wow.
He never directly confronted his former friend. His transformed life became his silent, undeniable response.
It's an incredible testament to the power of consistent, incremental progress.
It truly is a powerful narrative, isn't it? And as you hear Tan's story, we invite you to reflect. If you don't start making these small, intentional changes today, where do you envision yourself in 5 years? Pause. Will you be left with that familiar pang of regret, wishing you had taken those tiny steps when you had the chance? Pause. This daily self-victory, often unseen by others, is truly the most profound and sustainable kind of success.
Now, building on that idea of those crucial morning moments, a big part of harnessing them is conquering inertia right from the start, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
The simple yet often underestimated act of getting out of bed immediately.
Yes, the core idea here is absolutely fascinating. The act of getting out of bed right after your alarm without hitting snooze may seem trivial, like what's the big deal? But the source reveals it as a silent yet incredibly significant first victory of the day. It's a triumph over inertia, over hesitation, and over those deeply ingrained habits that keep us comfortable in the covers.
And there's actual science behind this resistance, which I find so compelling. When your alarm rings, your brain often experiences what's known as sleep inertia.
Right.
Your body craves the warmth, the comfort, while your mind knows it's time to rise. This is the precise moment of choice.
That's it. And choosing to get up, even when you're groggy, overrides those automatic behaviors. It serves as a deep and powerful exercise in internal discipline.
And the hidden damage of snoozing, it's far more profound than just a few extra minutes of sleep, isn't it?
Oh, much more. You see, hitting snooze often throws your brain into a new, incomplete sleep cycle, which leaves you feeling blurry, fatigued, and unfocused throughout the morning, even if you technically got enough sleep.
Right, that groggy feeling.
Exactly. And it sends a subconscious message to yourself that you're not ready to face the day, that you want to escape reality. Over time, this builds a quiet, insidious belief that you lack control, decisiveness, and the energy to start.
Worse still, if your brain learns that the alarm doesn't truly mean wake up, it can actually reduce the response of important neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine.
The motivators.
Right, those chemicals that help you feel alert and motivated. This makes future awakenings progressively harder. Snoozing, therefore, subtly erodes your life energy in the long run.
It's truly a silent saboteur of your morning and, by extension, your whole day.
Yeah.
And often, the deeper reason for hitting snooze isn't merely laziness. It frequently stems from a lack of clear goals, maybe insufficient motivation to truly pull oneself out of bed, or a feeling that nothing special or inspiring awaits.
Kind of a what's the point feeling.
Exactly. These feelings can stem from underlying boredom, hopelessness, or living a life that doesn't truly align with your deepest desires. The solution isn't just forcing yourself up, but asking profound questions. What am I truly getting up for? What goal awaits me? What does the life I genuinely desire look like? How much closer does getting up today bring me to that vision? True power lies in having a clear reason to rise without hesitation.
And there's research supporting this. The source highlights a 2010 study from the University of San Diego,
Right.
which found that individuals who practiced waking up and getting out of bed immediately experienced lower stress levels, higher morning energy, and longer periods of focused work, even with similar sleep durations.
It's a strong link.
It strongly suggests that starting your day with decisiveness can positively impact your mood throughout the entire day.
Consider June, a woman from the source who perpetually hit snooze multiple times. Her mornings were chaos, rushed, often filled with guilt.
It's familiar for many.
It does. One day, she resolved to try a simple, non-negotiable rule. Wake up, get up immediately, no thinking, no negotiation. She diligently practiced a 5-second countdown technique, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that up.
Just get moving.
Exactly. And this singular habit dramatically transformed her entire day. She gained quiet morning time, which she used to plan her life, felt energized, and even started a small online business that is now steadily growing.
Wow. June discovered that this small act of controlling her morning gave her a profound belief in her ability to control her entire life.
Yes.
A belief that proved to be the true catalyst for her transformation. It's an incredible insight into how small victories can cascade into bigger ones.
You invite you to ponder.
Mm-hmm.
If you find yourself losing the very first battle of the day, that simple choice to rise, how can you realistically expect to consistently reach your bigger goals? Pause life doesn't demand immediate drastic change,
No.
but silently, powerfully, the simple act of getting out of bed immediately each day can fundamentally reshape your entire future.
Let's move to tackling one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves. The I'll start tomorrow trap.
Ah, the classic procrastination mantra. We've all uttered it. I'll start tomorrow, or next Monday, or when I have more time, or even that classic, when I'm 100% ready.
Right.
Yet, oddly, that tomorrow so often never arrives. We fall into this cycle of postponing, feeling guilty, and it just repeats,
Mm-hmm.
leaving us standing in the same spot years later with nothing changed but our persistent later excuse.
And the deeper reason for this isn't a lack of dreams, is it? The source reveals it's often rooted in deep-seated fears.
Yeah, definitely. Fear of not being good enough, fear of failure, fear of losing what we currently have, fear of judgment from others.
Or even fear of success itself.
Even that, fear of how success might change our lives. Our brains, quite cleverly, construct countless reasons why today isn't the right day.
It's protective in a way, but ultimately holds us back.
That's why waiting until you feel 100% ready is one of the most dangerous traps.
Mm.
The truth is, no one is ever perfectly ready before taking action. Every successful person began with uncertainty, with doubts, with worries, and only built true readiness along the way, through the process itself. Acting today, even imperfectly or with mistakes, is far superior to waiting for a perfect moment that simply never arrives.
Right. There truly isn't a day that will magically feel perfectly ready without you taking that initial step.
No, you create the readiness by starting.
And the massive, often unseen costs of this inaction. Not starting today slowly but surely erodes your self-belief.
It really does.
Each time you declare you'll do something and then don't, your brain records it as a failure, building a deep-seated belief that you are lazy, undisciplined, or simply incapable of change.
And that belief then fuels more procrastination.
Exactly. It traps you in a cycle of perceived failure that stems from never truly trying. The most disappointing life, in the end, isn't one filled with failed attempts, but one where you never even dared to take a single step. Pause.
The path to overcoming this procrastination lies in a fundamental mindset shift. You need to lower your expectations of perfection.
Aw.
Seriously. Change your question from, how can I do this perfectly, to, what can I start immediately, even if I'm not ready?
Just start something.
Yes. Small, tangible actions can be incredibly powerful. Writing down your goals, completing one tiny task in just 5 minutes, or simply acknowledging your fear, but choosing to begin anyway. These actions immediately shift your inner energy, building momentum. That leads to more consistent action and ultimately permanent discipline. Successful individuals aren't inherently gifted. They are simply those who dared to start, even when they weren't yet skilled.
The source shares a compelling story of a man nearing 40 who felt he had little to show for it. Frequent job changes, no savings, no special skills.
Yeah, he spent his days scrolling social media, envying others' success, constantly telling himself, I'll start later, I'll learn later, I'll pursue my dreams later.
So familiar.
Years passed, and nothing changed, except his dreams began to feel too daunting to even contemplate. Then, one day, he read an article that hit him like a jolt. If you don't start today, in 5 years you'll still be in the same place. How will you explain that to yourself?
Wow, that's powerful.
This sentence profoundly affected him. He sat in silence for a long time, then opened his computer and wrote his very first article on a free blog. No one read it, no one cared.
But he did it.
He did it. And the next day, and the day after that, he wrote again. Not because it was good, not because he saw instant results, but because he was determined to change. Day after day, he kept writing, learning, seeking small jobs. Eventually, he became a full-time freelance writer, earning income, building a reputation in a niche he once thought unattainable.
That's incredible. His transformed life,
Hmm.
as the source emphasizes, is truly your story too. It could be any of us.
And as you reflect on this, we invite you to recognize yourself in this narrative.
Yeah.
You might be the one who snoozes your alarm every morning. You might be the one who has promised to start tomorrow. You might be the one who has feared not being good enough. Pause.
Yes.
And here's the powerful truth. You are also the only one who can choose to change this story and start today.
That's the key.
True readiness doesn't emerge from endless contemplation. It is born from action. Every significant transformation begins with a small, often unseen and unapplauded first step, a step that nonetheless sets the entire direction of your life.
Remember, success doesn't patiently await tomorrow. It sparks into existence today, in this very moment, as you decide that the waiting ends now and the doing begins.
You can do it because it starts with that simple yet profound act of beginning.
So often, we underestimate the power of seemingly small habits. Next up, a wonderfully simple yet incredibly powerful one: the healing power of natural light.
Yes. Imagine waking up slowly, drawing open your curtains, letting the gentle morning sunlight filter in.
Nice image.
Right. The air is cool, perhaps the faint scent of grass and damp earth lingers after a rain, and distant birdsong creates a tranquil backdrop. In that quiet moment, something profound happens, a silent biological healing process.
hmm
The source highlights that natural light, especially the soft morning sun, is nature's most potent tool for adjusting our bodies and minds.
And there's real science behind this, isn't there? When those first rays of light touch your skin or enter your eyes,
Yeah,
your brain immediately begins to adjust its chemical balance, affecting crucial neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and cortisol. This naturally makes you feel more awake, refreshed, and focused.
right. Often without needing caffeine.
Exactly, without needing that first cup of coffee.
Precisely. Morning light directly influences your circadian rhythm, that internal system regulating your sleep, wakefulness, appetite, mood, and energy throughout the 24-hour cycle.
Okay.
When this system is precisely tuned by appropriate daily light exposure, you can significantly reduce feelings of depression and fatigue and experience deeper, more restorative sleep at night.
And conversely, spending all day inside.
Right. Conversely, spending your entire day under artificial lighting, especially screen light, confuses your brain, disrupting the healthy secretion of serotonin and melatonin. This often leads to a lingering feeling of grogginess and lack of freshness, even if you've technically slept for 8 hours.
So it's not just about sleep duration.
Not at all. It's the cumulative effect of unconsciously disconnecting yourself from nature.
The optimal time for this kind of light exposure is typically between 6:00 and 9:00 a.m.
No window, yeah.
During this period, the sunlight is gentle enough not to harm your skin, but still intense enough for your body to absorb vitamin D. Just 10 to 20 minutes of exposure without sunglasses and avoiding direct scorching sun is often sufficient to improve your focus, energy, and overall mood for the entire day.
It's even used therapeutically, which is fascinating. The source notes that natural light is employed in treating depression.
hmm
A 2005 Harvard University study, for instance, found that 15 to 30 minutes of morning sunlight for 7 consecutive days significantly reduced depressive symptoms.
That's quite significant.
It powerfully illustrates the boundless, free power of nature, constantly surrounding us and offering us a natural reset.
I love the analogy of winter trees. They seem bare and lifeless, but they're truly undergoing deep rest.
Mm-hmm.
Nature doesn't rush. It pauses to accumulate energy before blossoming in spring. It grows steadily, understanding its own rhythm.
And we, as humans, are no different. If
Hmm.
we allow sunlight to guide us, if we let nature touch us, we can slowly recalibrate our own life rhythms back to their natural, harmonious state.
Take Mapreng, for example, from the source. She worked over 12 hours a day in front of screens, was addicted to coffee and binge-watching series.
Living that modern grind.
Totally. And suffered from chronic insomnia and stress. One day, while visiting relatives in the countryside, she woke early, not to an alarm, but to sunlight filtering through the window and the crow of a rooster.
Ah, lovely.
She instinctively stepped out into the fields, breathed in the scent of grass, watched wildflowers sway in the breeze, and felt truly alive for the first time in years.
The energy she felt wasn't just the atmosphere, was it?
No, it was a profound reconnection with herself. Returning to the city, she transformed her morning routine. She woke up and consciously exposed herself to the sun before touching her phone or checking work.
Smart move.
Her focus increased, her mood improved, and she slept more easily. She even found herself reducing her caffeine intake without consciously trying.
It was a ripple effect from one small change.
Absolutely.
As you hear Maprang's story, we want you to imagine. You might feel like that potted tree, confined and distant from the sun and wind. Pause.
hmm
Yet, merely moving that pot to a sunlit window can initiate an entire transformation. Perhaps you've woken up feeling groggy even after 8 hours of sleep. Or maybe you never realized that just 10 minutes of gentle morning sunlight could uplift your mood for the entire day.
Yeah.
Don't wait until you're exhausted to seek nature's embrace. Simply open your curtains, step onto your balcony, breathe deeply, and allow that small spark of light to remind you that today is another precious opportunity the world has granted you. You have the choice to seize it with energy or let it slip away. Begin simply by standing in the soft sunlight, and you'll discover that ordinary light can change more than you ever imagined. Nature awaits you, not just to strengthen your body, but to let your heart beat to its own calm, true rhythm once more.
Sticking with morning habits, here's another critical one: the digital detox for the first 30 minutes after waking.
This is a subtle yet crucial point. Those first 30 minutes after waking are an incredibly delicate transition period for your brain and body,
Right.
as they gradually shift from deep sleep to full consciousness. This is a quiet, receptive period, moving from deep sleep delta waves to the more relaxed and receptive theta waves, a period where your mind is particularly open to new thoughts and self-reflection.
And the immediate impact of phone use during these minutes. If you grab your phone to scroll through news, social media, or notifications,
Which so many of us do.
your brain is instantly pulled into a reactive mode. You're not choosing what to think. You're simply responding to what your phone dictates. Last night's drama, new posts, messages to reply to, emails.
Your thoughts start swinging wildly.
Yeah, and your body can even start releasing stress hormones like cortisol, all before you've even left your bed.
The unseen consequence of regularly starting your day this way means you subtly lose control over your own day. You begin not with intention, but by being controlled by external forces.
Mm-hmm.
This is a silent cause behind many common issues: confusion, lack of focus, anxiety, easy irritability, and even chronic depression. You essentially sacrifice precious personal time to the digital world before you've even washed your face.
Conversely, if you consciously set your phone aside for the first 30 minutes and dedicate that time to yourself, even just sitting quietly, breathing deeply, walking in the sunlight, doing light yoga, or writing down your goals,
Right, reclaiming that time.
your brain begins the day in a proactive rather than reactive mode. You cultivate a feeling that this day is mine, not someone else's.
I love that.
Calm and inner power build instantly upon waking, and this feeling automatically extends throughout your entire day. By not overwhelming your nervous system with information from the start, your restorative parasympathetic system, that part of your nervous system that helps you rest and digest, functions better, leaving you feeling refreshed, relaxed, focused, and unhurried. This intentional start directly impacts your productivity, confidence, and emotional control in various situations.
And the cumulative negative effect of starting your day with social media. It's a constant pulling of your attention away from yourself and into the worlds of others.
Right, the comparison trap.
Exactly. You unconsciously start comparing yourself, feeling inadequate at others' successes, fearful at bad news, or insufficient when seeing curated perfect lives. While these may seem minor, if they accumulate every morning, they silently build negative thought patterns about your own life. Without addressing this root cause, this habit,
Right.
your brain becomes accustomed to rapid information intake, losing its stillness and deep thinking capacity. Planning, creativity, and inner drive gradually diminish, leaving many feeling exhausted before they've even done anything.
This is a big area of research too, isn't it? The source cites a 2022 survey by WellNet Lab at Harvard of over 2,000 working professionals,
Yes.
which found that 74% of those who didn't touch their phone for the first hour of the day reported lower stress levels, increased focus, and greater happiness throughout their day.
74%.
Yeah. In stark contrast, the group that spent the first 30 minutes on screens tended to feel more fatigued, less confident, and less in control of their lives.
It's a stark difference that really speaks volumes.
It really does.
And this data has actually led to a growing trend of phone-free habits among younger generations, embracing quiet walks with coffee, reading a few pages, journaling, or listening to soft instrumental music. These aren't just trendy activities. They are deliberate acts of reclaiming personal time before it must be given to others.
Consider Gone, a young man who habitually grabbed his phone immediately upon waking, checking every app, responding to messages, reviewing emails.
Exhausting just thinking about it.
Right, feeling exhausted before he even brushed his teeth. One day, he realized he was living a life that wasn't truly his own, dictated by external pings.
Yeah.
He decided to stop touching his phone for 30 minutes after waking, using that time to sit quietly, listen to birds, and write down 3 feelings he wanted to experience that day, like Today, I want to be patient. Today, I want to be brave. Today, I want to be focused.
Setting an intention.
Exactly.
Within just a few weeks, Gon found himself more focused, less irritable, and felt a nearer, subtle energy within him that he'd never experienced before.
Wow.
It wasn't because he was doing more, it was simply because he started his day with conscious intention, reclaiming his own mental space.
We encourage you to see yourself in Gon's story. You might have picked up your phone before truly listening to yourself. You might have allowed the outside world to define your feelings before you even washed your face. But just like Gon, you possess the power to change this small habit today without waiting for tomorrow. It doesn't have to be difficult or grand. Simply let the first 30 minutes truly be yours.
Just reclaim that space.
When you begin your day with intentionality, your entire day will respond with calm, confidence, and an inner power that originates from within, rather than merely reacting to the sounds of notifications. This truly is what it means to own your day, no longer just a follower of others' lives on a screen.
Now that we've explored building strong morning foundations, let's turn our attention inward to the often unseen mental barriers that prevent us from moving forward.
Okay.
These are the excuses we tell ourselves, often rooted in fear and disappointment, that subtly sabotage our progress.
Let's start with a common one. The "I'm not skilled enough" trap. The core idea is that many people hesitate to embark on new ventures with the simple rationale, "I'm not skilled enough yet."
Yeah, that old chestnut.
But the profound truth is, no one in the world begins anything with perfect pre-existing skill.
No one. And this belief that you must be skilled before you start is one of the most dangerous psychological traps. It paralyzes you, transforming you into a dreamer who never takes a step closer to realizing their dreams. It's like observing a tree in winter and concluding it's dead, when in reality, it's merely in a period of deep rest. Growth isn't absent, it's quietly working beneath the surface, waiting for its moment to bloom in spring.
That's a great analogy.
Self-development operates in the same way. There are periods in life that seem stagnant, but they are often times of accumulation, recovery, and quiet root building, preparing for the opportune moment to flourish.
We mistakenly believe that being skilled before starting is the safe approach. Yet, countless successful individuals began their journeys feeling afraid, uncertain, and with no clear idea of the outcome.
Absolutely. Fear isn't always a signal of unreadiness. Sometimes it's simply the shadow cast by our own self-doubt. If we allow this fear to halt our progress, every single day becomes subtly stolen by the illusion of needing 100% readiness.
Because perfect readiness simply doesn't exist.
It doesn't. Even those who graduate from prestigious institutions with vast knowledge still confront uncertainty when they enter the real world, which is far removed from textbooks.
True.
True competence never arises from waiting until you feel confident. It emerges from taking action, making mistakes, learning from them, adapting, and growing through the process.
So, the path forward. How do we cultivate that courage?
To cultivate the courage to act, even when you don't feel skilled enough, start by accepting that everyone has small beginnings. No one stands up and runs immediately. Everyone falls first.
Yeah.
But falling, getting up,
Yeah.
walking, then running, that is the true path to success. Set small goals and achieve them step by step. Don't compare yourself to others or try to run their race. Just keep moving forward every single day.
Like the tree.
Exactly. You will begin to sprout like a tree in spring. The small, imperfect things you do today can become massive turning points tomorrow. True growth never starts from perfection. It begins with the intention to abandon excuses and not allow life's winter to become an excuse to never bloom again.
It's like planting a tree. If you place a seed on the ground and say it won't grow, it surely won't because you haven't watered or cared for it.
Right, you've prejudged it.
But if you water, till the soil, and patiently endure through rainy and sunny days, that seed will grow into a strong, resilient tree. Waiting until you feel 100% ready is an illusion, because true readiness doesn't come from a feeling. It comes from practicing until you become proficient. And when you are proficient, you will feel capable. Repeatedly feeling capable leads to genuine self-confidence without needing self-consolation.
Ultimately, what successful people possess isn't profound talent, but the courage to try, practice repeatedly, revise, and not judge themselves too quickly. Not giving up is a profound form of victory.
Yeah.
And consistent practice is the bridge that carries us from can to can, from awkward to expert, and from unknown to a life transformed.
So we urge you to embrace this truth. Start anyway, even if you don't feel skilled enough.
Please do.
Because every brave step you take today will become the deep taproot of steady, unwavering success in your future. Your spring is quietly awaiting those small beginnings that you plant today.
Another common mental barrier, the belief that age is just a number, or rather the opposite belief that age is a barrier. Many wrongly believe that as they age, starting something new is too late.
Oh, definitely hear that one a lot.
This belief often stems from fear, self-doubt, or societal narratives, rather than objective reality. The truth is, there's no expiration date on starting something new.
Not at all.
No one is confined by their age, unless they choose to confine themselves. So many are trapped by the phrase, too old, despite having decades, ample physical energy and mental strength remaining to create something truly meaningful.
The world is filled with inspiring examples of people in middle age, or even retirees, who embarked on new paths they never imagined,
Absolutely.
achieving greater success than they did in their youth. Think of Colonel Sanders, who founded KFC at 65.
65. With his retirement savings and a chicken recipe. He had failed many times, changed careers repeatedly, and even struggled to afford food before that.
Wow.
Yet because he refused to give up and believed it wasn't too late, he became a legend at an age when most people consider slowing down.
It's incredible.
From another perspective, not retreating even when unsuccessful is a profound victory of the spirit. Imagine two women, both 50, who just lost their jobs. The first believes she's too old, that there's no place for her in the world anymore. She stays home, afraid to learn new things or step outside her comfort zone, spending her remaining time consumed by feelings of loss. Her spirit quite literally shrinks with each passing day.
That's sad to picture.
It is. The second woman, in contrast, also starts from scratch. But she decides to enroll in online courses, acquire new skills, and take on small jobs she'd never done before. It's difficult, it's slow, but she refuses to give up. 2 years later, she's earning her own income, feels valuable again in her own eyes, has a new network of friends, and most importantly knows she can always create her own life, even if she started later than others.
The fundamental difference between these two women wasn't their age or even their initial opportunities, but their attitude.
Exactly. One believed age meant the end, while the other believed it was a new, riper beginning. There's no need to rush or compare yourself to others. Simply know that your remaining time is far too precious to waste on fear. Psychologically, individuals who initiate change in their 40s to 60s often possess a deeper, more stable energy than younger people. They've experienced more of life, witnessed its realities, and are less easily swayed by illusions.
That makes sense. More perspective.
Right. They understand that happiness isn't solely about money, but about living a meaningful life. The strength of this age group lies in their emotional maturity, which grants them stability, even when starting from scratch. They don't begin with fleeting dreams, but with profound understanding and unwavering determination qualities that can be a stronger driving force than that of someone who has never faced major setbacks.
It reminds me that even massive trees yield fruit at many decades old, not immediately after planting.
Great point.
Similarly, you can begin a new life at any age as long as you're still breathing. Every day remains an opportunity to choose anew, to embark on a new path, and to craft a more beautiful ending. You don't need to be faster than anyone else or start as a child. All that matters is knowing it's not too late and that you always have the power to choose whether to wait or to build.
And never forget that some of the greatest victories aren't measured by wealth or fame, but by a heart that simply refuses to quit, pauses. The person who can still rise after life throws challenges at them, who still believes in themselves when no one else does, who quietly tells themselves, I still have a right to a future. That is the true winner.
Now, for the quiet word that can slowly dismantle lives without us even realizing it. Later, or I'll do it later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Silent killer of dreams. It sounds harmless, just a small postponement.
Right, like no big deal.
But in truth, it is the deepest and most entrenched root of procrastination in the modern mind. Many use it as a recurring excuse, unaware that with each utterance, their desired goal moves one step further away, and most importantly, their self-confidence quietly diminishes. The source explains that this behavior isn't merely external laziness, it's deeply embedded in the subconscious, a cumulative result of past experiences. Perhaps you grew up in an environment where you were compelled to perform perfectly, thus fearing imperfect beginnings. Or you experienced severe criticism after making mistakes, leading your mind to internalize the belief that it's better not to start if not fully prepared. These beliefs subtly hide beneath the seemingly innocent word later.
And the brain plays a part in this self-sabotage, doesn't it? Each time you tell yourself, I'll do it later,
Uh,
your brain receives a signal. It's okay, no urgency. This creates a new neural circuit where delaying becomes normal.
oh, wow.
The more often you do it, the more your sense of agency, intention, and discipline fades. Your self-belief also diminishes as you subconsciously feel you can't follow through on your own words. Your initial motivation transforms into empty promises, and you begin to lose faith in yourself.
Consider two individuals, Ayaz Nut, who both aspire to create online content for income. Boss immediately takes action. He records his first video with a simple phone, no fancy lights or expensive microphone, but he does it.
Key phrase, he does it.
Yes. He uploads a video every week, experimenting, learning editing, speaking, and writing posts. A year passes, and he begins to gain followers, interest, and income. Crucially, his self-belief grows stronger every day because he's building a track record of action.
Nut, however, also wants to start but tells himself, later, I need a better microphone. Later, I'll learn editing perfectly. Later, I'll find more free time.
The later trip.
A year passes and Nut hasn't uploaded a single video. Looking back, he feels not just wasted time, but a profound loss of self-belief. He begins to doubt his capabilities, compares himself to others, and the word later traps him in a world of unfulfilled dreams.
The source emphasizes that procrastination isn't just about discipline, it's about honoring your promises to yourself.
That's a powerful reframe.
Isn't it? If you continually postpone small tasks today, you will inevitably postpone larger goals tomorrow. The most effective way to break this habit is to take immediate action, even if you're not 100% ready,
We keep coming back to that.
because it's crucial. True readiness doesn't exist before you start. It develops during the process of doing.
Mm.
When you successfully complete a task, even a small one, your brain registers it as an achievement, and your self-confidence gradually increases. This creates a new life cycle, acting first, then developing along the way, rather than waiting for perfection before taking action.
A helpful strategy I've seen work is to set the smallest possible goal for today. Don't start big. Don't wait for a whole free day.
Just tiny steps.
Just begin by writing a headline for 1 minute, recording a 3-minute audio clip, or posting a short message. Every act of starting signals to your mind that you are building something. As your mind begins to believe you are a person of action, fear diminishes, discipline returns, and your future subtly begins to change.
Starting immediately trains your brain to choose action over postponement. It's an exercise in mental discipline, a decision not to wait for perfection, but to move forward consistently. It's about proving that you don't need to be the most ready person. You just need to be brave enough to begin. When you look back in a year, you won't regret not having achieved everything. What you will regret is not having started at all. Pause.
So true.
Life never rewards those who wait. It rewards those who take action, even if imperfectly, even scared, but who are brave enough to stop deceiving themselves with the word later anymore. Remember, success doesn't start tomorrow. It starts today, right now, in the moment you decide that the waiting ends now and the doing begins.
And you absolutely can do it because it all begins with that tiny step that most people neglect. Simply starting.
Moving on to another significant mental barrier, overcoming the fear of criticism and rising above insults.
Oof. This is a big one for many people.
It really is. In a world saturated with opinions and constant comparison, few things hold a dream more brutally than the fear of shame from failure. This shame often doesn't stem from the event itself, but from the perceived judgment of others. The belief that people will see us as incompetent, flawed, pathetic, or that we shouldn't have even tried. This feeling is incredibly potent, causing many to abandon their aspirations despite harboring deep dreams and desires.
And why does criticism hold such profound power over us?
The source explains it targets our most vulnerable points, echoing deep fears. The fear of actual failure, the fear of being worthless. Its impact is magnified if it comes from someone close or in a position of authority, family, teachers, bosses. It becomes an internal voice subtly holding us back, even when no one is actively speaking. But here's the critical truth. These negative voices are rarely factual. They're merely opinions, filtered through the speaker's limited perspective. Often such words don't reflect your truth. They reflect what the speaker believes you should be according to their standards, not your own potential.
That's a crucial distinction.
It is. The source powerfully states that these negative voices often stem from the speaker's own fears, envy, or lack of courage.
So it's more about them than us sometimes.
Often, yes. Not reacting to criticism doesn't equate to surrender. Instead, it signals a person who understands that their life force should be channeled into building, not into being eroded by negativity.
Right. Don't waste energy fighting every battle.
Exactly. If you pause for every word to explain yourself, you'll never have time for truly valuable work. The source suggests that remaining silent while taking action is the most potent form of retaliation. You don't need to prove anything to anyone immediately. One day your results will speak for themselves without needing a single word of explanation.
The key then is to learn to differentiate between constructive criticism that offers value and just, well, baseless insults.
Precisely. If a comment, though painful, helps you see a flaw, it's a gift. But if it makes you hate yourself or diminishes your self-worth, it should not be harbored in your mind for even a minute. You must learn to discard such voices and instead fill yourself with questions that foster growth, such as, am I trying to prove something to others or simply to myself that I am capable? Most successful people understand that criticism is often a sign they are venturing beyond the ordinary. Those who stick to the status quo are rarely talked about.
True.
But those who dare to be different, to dream big, to forge new paths, they're always the first to face criticism. This is because most people cannot yet see what doesn't exist. Successful individuals don't engage in verbal battles, they act. They transform the pain of criticism into fuel, not to defeat others, but to overcome their own past weaknesses.
The source beautifully references Knox Overstreet from Dead Poets Society. Initially, Knox was shy, quiet.
Yeah, afraid to express himself, overshadowed by his brother.
He feared public speaking, mistakes, shame. Even in Mr. Keating's safe classroom, he held back.
But over time, nurtured by that non-judgmental atmosphere, friendship, encouragement, Knox began to find his own voice. He was challenged to stand up and speak something he had never uttered before. He trembled, stammered,
But he did it.
but eventually he spoke. That day marked his transformation, not because he became instantly skilled, but because he dared to break through his own shame. He learned that the sting of shame is fleeting, but the regret of not daring to try can last a lifetime. Pause.
What a powerful lesson.
And we also have the powerful example of Oprah Winfrey. She was famously fired from a news anchoring job because she was deemed unsuitable for television.
Unbelievable.
As a black woman in an era rife with racial discrimination, she faced immense challenges. She endured a difficult childhood, abuse, poverty, countless insults. Yet, she refused to allow those voices to define or limit her life.
She pressed on.
She pressed on, launched her own show, built one of the world's largest media empires, and became one of the most influential women of her time. This was because she understood that her inner voice held more power than anyone else's.
These stories aren't born from mere luck. They stem from individuals choosing not to believe what others said about them.
Exactly. They believed in what had not yet happened and were determined to make it a reality.
So, we invite you to reflect. Whose words are you believing today? Whose voice is currently defining yourself with? Whose opinions make you hesitate to act?
Mhm. Are these voices truly reflecting your future, or are they merely shadows obscuring the possibilities you haven't yet unlocked? Your life is far too valuable to be dictated by the words of anyone who doesn't truly know you.
If they tell you that you cannot do it, it means they have not witnessed you when you truly rise and give your all.
Hmm.
If they tell you that you are not good enough, perhaps they haven't had the opportunity to see how much effort you genuinely put in. If they tell you that you will never succeed, then simply offer them a gentle smile and quietly continue your journey.
Let your actions speak.
For one day, your success by the undeniable answer that needs no words. Don't abandon everything simply because of a fear of shame, a feeling that doesn't genuinely exist unless we choose to carry its burden.
Every single person possesses immense inner power, regardless of past failures, falls, or feelings of inadequacy. Falling does not diminish anyone's worth. It is the fear that prevents us from even trying that gradually obscures the power within us. Give yourself the chance to try, to make mistakes, to speak imperfectly, to answer incorrectly, to fall, and to rise quickly. Pause.
You are not living to earn the applause of others, but to reach a point where your future self can look back and smile, knowing you were brave enough to walk your own path.
Shame is but a fleeting shadow. Effort is the illuminating light. You choose what to turn your face towards. Ultimately, the world will remember the name of the person who fell 10 times, but rose 11, not the one who never fell because they never dared to begin anything at all.
Another powerful mental barrier we often face: the no money myth and how it ties into the power of financial planning.
Right. Many people believe their inability to start something new stems solely from a lack of money.
It feels very real sometimes.
It does. However, the source argues that no money often doesn't just reflect a financial deficit. Instead, it frequently masks deeper fears. The fear of making mistakes without the financial means to correct them, the fear of losing face, or the fear of catastrophic failure without a safety net?
Ah, so it's fear disguised as practicality.
Often, yes. These underlying fears, rather than the actual amount in one's bank account, are often the primary culprits preventing people from starting.
It's like that mindset of waiting until I'm ready or waiting until I have enough money before starting.
Yes, it's akin to waiting for the waves to calm before daring to swim, a perfect moment that simply never arrives in real life. This waiting doesn't lead to better preparation. It often cultivates a habit of not starting anything at all.
And this is where the source redefines capital.
Exactly. The source powerfully redefines true capital. It's not just money. It's your time, your knowledge, your courage, and your discipline.
Things we often overlook as assets.
Absolutely. These invaluable assets can be put into action immediately without needing any financial investment. Everyone begins with nothing. But some choose to build from scratch, while others opt to wait for a state of complete readiness that is elusive. And this is why long-term financial planning, initiated from a young age, is one of the most invaluable gifts you can bestow upon yourself.
Because time is the crucial factor.
Time is truly the most precious resource in wealth creation. The earlier you begin, the more effectively you harness the power of compound interest, the power of discipline, and the power of compounding opportunities.
That early start truly gives you an advantage most people overlook. In their youth, individuals often have fewer financial burdens.
Few responsibilities, yeah.
No significant debts, fewer dependents, allowing them to allocate a portion of their income to savings or investments without excessive worry about emergency expenses. This is a golden period ideally suited for establishing a solid financial foundation.
Planning should ideally begin around 18, 22 years old, or as soon as you receive your first income.
Even from a part-time job.
Yes, whether from a part-time job, side hustle, or parental allowance. The initial goal isn't to get rich quickly, but to cultivate financial discipline. Learning to save before spending, understanding cash flow, tracking income and expenses, and setting small, achievable goals like saving your first, say, $1,000 or equivalent within 6 months.
Many, especially young adults, mistakenly believe that real life only begins at 30 or after securing a stable job, and that financial matters can wait.
I'll deal with it later.
Right. They spend their youth on fleeting pleasures and small luxuries, forgetting that this very period offers the highest potential for financial growth. For instance, if you start investing, say, $100 a month from age 20 in a fund yielding an average of 8% annually, you could accumulate a really significant sum by age 50.
Way more than people think.
Without having to frantically chase money or resort to risky get-rich-quick schemes later on, delaying is like trying to run uphill while others started on flat ground.
By ages 35-40, when many begin planning, they often face substantial burdens. Debts, children, a home, a car, unstable expenses making saving incredibly difficult. The truth is, if they had started saving even a little just 5, 10 years earlier, their lives would be significantly less burdened.
Mm-hmm.
A sound financial plan should begin with fundamental knowledge. Understand your expense categories, whether your income is fixed or variable, what you spend on most frequently, and where you can cut back.
The basics.
The basics.
Yeah.
Next, build an emergency fund equivalent to 3-6 months of your expenses. Once you have this cushion, begin researching suitable investments aligned with your risk tolerance. Mutual funds, stocks, maybe life insurance with cash value. Crucially, avoid investments that promise quick wealth but carry high risks of losing everything.
What are some common hurdles people face when trying to start?
Impatience is a big one. The feeling that savings are useless, the desire to emulate others' lavish lifestyles on social media, or the fear that current savings won't suffice.
Yeah, the comparison trap again.
The way to overcome these is to reframe your perspective. Every dollar saved is an investment in your future freedom, not a limitation on current happiness. It actually extends happiness further down the line.
That's a good way to think about it.
Just as the sun rises every morning, no matter how dark yesterday was, today offers a fresh opportunity to begin anew. If you didn't understand money yesterday, today is the best day to start. There's no such thing as too late. There's only the sooner you start, the less effort it requires.
Consider the real-life example of Tirupet, who began financial planning during his first year of university.
So young.
He started by saving just a small amount of his daily allowance, dividing it into three portions: spending, saving, and investing. He educated himself on finance, reading books, and watching online videos. By the time he graduated, he had saved over 100,000 baht despite never holding a full-time job.
Wow.
He used this capital to launch a small online business, which grew steadily until he was earning a six-figure monthly income by the age of 26.
20.
While some of his friends were still grappling with student debt or just beginning to learn about finance, Tirpat had a life of choice, free from the constant pursuit of money, all because he planned ahead when his life's sun was just beginning to rise.
This is the true power of starting early.
Also, think of Poom, who dreamed of selling toasted bread near a school but lacked funds for a proper shop or equipment.
Right, the no money problem.
So he started small, with a thermos and a tiny pan, using an old folding table. He sold every morning, constantly adjusting his recipes, taking photos, posting on social media, building a page and a customer base.
Resourceful.
As he earned money, he gradually upgraded, buying a new oven, a better sign. A year later, he rented a storefront and hired staff.
Meanwhile, Poon's friend, Chart, also wanted to open a coffee shop, but kept saying, I'll wait. I need to save enough money. I need a beautiful shop, a good coffee machine.
Still waiting.
A year passed, then another, and he was still waiting. When Chart saw how far Poon had come, he began to feel disheartened. Both started with a dream, but Chart's belief that he needed capital first, needed to be ready first, became a wall that trapped him in his thoughts.
Not starting due to a perceived lack of money means losing the most crucial things: time and opportunity.
Exactly. Time, once passed, can never be regained. While you wait for readiness, others are already moving forward, learning, developing. By the time you finally decide to start, the world might have moved so far ahead that you can't catch up. Not daring to act when you don't have money can lead to lifelong regret.
The source highlights that many things can be started immediately without any money: creating a social media page, taking free online courses, practicing a skill briefly,
Building discipline.
creating content with existing resources, planning, writing down your goals. None of these require capital, but they build a fundamental base that gradually brings you closer to larger endeavors in the future.
A classic example of someone who built a life from nothing is Jack Ma. At the beginning, he had no money, no connections, no knowledge of technology.
Right.
But he possessed unwavering determination to learn, using what he had: his ideas, courage, and action. On his first day, his website received no clicks. He was rejected almost 100 times when pitching his ideas. But he never gave up.
And look at Alibaba now.
Ultimately, Alibaba became an empire, built by a person who started with nothing but the courage to begin.
All of this demonstrates that financial literacy, understanding tax, finance, and insurance, is not just a theoretical concept. It is a practical tool that has genuinely transformed countless lives.
Pause. Those who begin first gain an early advantage. Those who delay might pay a steeper price in the future without even realizing it. Understanding these concepts doesn't require being a math genius or knowing complex jargon.
No.
It simply requires a desire to learn and gradual practice in your daily life. Ultimately, those who deeply understand money won't need to rely on luck to navigate life. No matter your current age, if you were listening to this, your sun is still rising. Every waking day is a fresh opportunity to consciously manage your financial life. While it may be late for some, it will always be early enough for those who seriously begin today. Because a stable life isn't born from luck, but from the plan you dare to lay out on the fresh morning of your new day.
Now that we've discussed building foundations and dismantling mental obstacles, let's transition to cultivating fundamental life strengths. These aren't just skills, they're the bedrock of a life lived with purpose and resilience.
Right.
And first, among them, the willingness to endure short-term hardship for long-term results.
You likely see successful individuals today, those with time freedom, financial security, fulfilling work. What often remains unseen is the short-term hardship they endured years prior.
The grind behind the scenes.
Exactly. Waking earlier, working harder, delaying gratification. These were the foundations they quietly laid to reap rewards today. Enduring short-term difficulty is arguably the most crucial quality for success. It means accepting discomfort now for something far greater in the future. Those who spend time learning after work instead of endlessly scrolling are, in fact, building lasting results over fleeting comfort.
Why do most of us instinctively choose short-term comfort?
Well, our human brain is hardwired for immediate gratification, releasing dopamine for instant pleasures. This instinct, while evolutionary for survival in simpler times, often keeps us stuck in small comforts now, perpetually believing tomorrow is always available to get serious.
The later trap again.
Yes.
Yes.
The path to endurance, then, means understanding that today's struggle isn't meaningless. It's a vital investment. When you consistently do something difficult, your brain adapts, building new, stronger habits.
Okay.
You learn to reframe your internal dialogue. Change "I'm tired" to "I'm building," or "there's no progress" to "this is the start of a better future." Focus on those long-term outcomes. If I resist impulse buying this month, that money becomes capital in 6 months. If I read 20 minutes daily, in a year I'll have new knowledge that will literally change my life.
And the cumulative power of this endurance is truly remarkable. When you embrace hardship today, that perseverance gradually builds mental strength.
It really does.
After months or years, you'll see yourself as a completely new person. Resilient, courageous in the face of uncertainty, and, crucially, trusting in your own power because you've proven your capacity to endure.
Mm-hmm.
This self-proven resilience becomes an invaluable emotional shield for even tougher days, and inner strength earned through your own journey through adversity.
Consider the man from the source who, 5 years ago, was a recent graduate with student debt, waking at 5 a.m. for a part-time coffee shop job,
Wow, 5 a.m.
then attending online classes and writing articles for extra income in the evenings. During that time, no one paid him any mind, nor did anyone believe he would succeed. He had no time for leisure, no money for
It's a
luxuries.
pure effort. He only had a dream and the unwavering determination not to stay in the same place forever. He dedicated every minute to building knowledge, practicing skills, and enduring the lack of recognition. He navigated periods of misunderstanding and exhaustion, moments where he desperately wanted to quit, but he chose not to.
And the result?
Today, he lives a life where he no longer has to endure hardship because he endured enough in the past. This is the truth for countless individuals who, without any starting advantage, use perseverance to transform their lives.
Therefore, if you are currently feeling weary, if you are enduring difficulties,
Mm.
or if those around you question your efforts asking, "Why are you doing this? Will it even be worth it?"
Mm.
Remember this profound truth.
Mm-hmm.
The hardship you willingly accept today is not for anyone else. It is to purchase your own freedom in the future.
Pause. Endure wisely, endure with a clear goal, and endure for what truly holds value. For on the day you overcome, you'll not only be free, but also possess an inner strength that makes you resilient to future harm. Now, let's explore choosing the hard, rewarding path. This feels slightly different from just enduring hardship. It's about actively seeking challenges for growth, perhaps.
Exactly. The difficult path is often perceived as undesirable, not worth the effort, and seemingly without a clear destination. However, the source argues that this challenging route is precisely what molds individuals into stronger, more valuable versions of themselves,
Okay.
leading to a stable and sustainable future that shortcuts simply cannot provide. This is because easy paths rarely build anything lasting, while lasting achievements invariably require initial hardship.
People who choose the hard path aren't masochists, right?
No, not at all. They understand that the foundation of true success must be strong enough to withstand future storms. In the early stages of a difficult journey, you might be the only one who believes it will lead to a better future.
Can feel lonely.
Very. There might be no applause, no immediate support, no instant gratifying result, but what you will gain, undeniably, is a stronger inner fortitude with every day you refuse to give up.
The difficult path is like climbing a mountain. It's exhausting. Every muscle aches. But every step forward builds hidden power within you. One day, when you reach the peak, you will not only gain a higher perspective, but also the strong legs necessary to continue your journey without fearing steep inclines.
What often leads people astray or to give up is the failure to recognize that the difficulties they face are merely temporary obstacles, not an indication of being on the wrong path.
So how do you know if you should continue?
The answer lies in revisiting your original intention. Ask yourself why you chose this path. If it's a path with meaning, with a clear goal, and with value for your future, then no matter how hard it becomes, it is worth enduring. There is no shortcut that will take you to that specific destination.
The key difference between the easy and hard paths lies in their long-term outcomes. The easy path often provides immediate comfort, but doesn't foster growth.
Like that stable but stagnant job.
Exactly. An unchallenging job with stable income, but no new learning or opportunities for significant creation. In contrast, the hard path might start from scratch, demanding patience, embracing uncertainty, making brave decisions, and accepting mistakes. But this path gradually transforms ordinary individuals into truly strong and self-sufficient people.
The only way to navigate a difficult path is not to wait for external encouragement, but to cultivate it from within. Remind yourself daily that every challenging step is bringing you closer to a life-changing turning point.
Keep the faith.
Don't judge your path solely by what you see right now, because significant results are often hidden behind sustained effort and patient waiting. Those who give up often do so just a few steps before reaching a breakthrough.
Think of Jack Ma again. He was repeatedly rejected, denied jobs, funding, opportunities, but he never gave up.
Yeah,
He
sure.
chose to learn English on his own, riding his bicycle daily to practice speaking with tourists, even when no one recognized his efforts. One day, he built Alibaba from nothing.
Despite having no tech knowledge, no capital, no connections,
Only the courage to walk a path no one else had dared to tread. Today, he is a global inspiration, not because of luck, but because he refused to retreat from the difficult path.
or consider Joe Rogan, the podcaster. He started by doing something no one really cared about, interviewing guests in a small room, no team, no funding,
Just an idea.
driven solely by the intention to create a space for honest conversations without editing or scripts. Today, he owns a podcast with millions of listeners and secured a multi-million-dollar deal with Spotify. His path wasn't easy or glamorous at first.
Real life isn't a single episode drama where everything resolves quickly. Choosing the difficult path today might not be understood by others, but one day will be the loudest answer explaining why you possess freedom while others are still trapped by the allure of comfort. Pause.
If you feel that your path is heavy, exhausting, and unappreciated, do not stop. Do not give up, because you might be closer to a turning point than you ever imagined. The clearest skies always appear after a storm. Pause.
Just dare to walk on with a heart that still believes in your goal, and one day you will become living proof that ordinary people, if they dare to choose the difficult path, can also achieve an extraordinary future.
We've discussed building strong foundations and dismantling mental barriers. Now let's explore how these inner transformations translate into powerful, often silent ways you interact with the world and present yourself,
Oh,
fostering deeper connection and self-respect. Let's start with the gentle strength of polite language.
while seemingly minor in a world valuing sharp wit and directness, polite language holds a quiet power to transform every interaction.
It really does. It sets the atmosphere, subtly influences the listener's feelings, and profoundly reflects the speaker's emotional intelligence and self-respect.
Especially in emotionally charged or conflicting situations, right?
Absolutely. Like harsh criticism, tense negotiations, or even sarcastic comments, most people instinctively react with emotion to defend themselves.
Yeah, the knee-jerk reaction.
However, choosing polite words instead of aggressive retaliation instantly shifts the tone. Politeness doesn't just de-escalate, it opens a space for understanding. When the other person feels unthreatened or disrespected, they are more likely to listen. And when hearts open, true communication happens, not just a verbal back and forth.
In relationships, using polite language, even when you're upset, demonstrates a powerful form of responsibility for the other person's feelings.
It communicates, my emotions are high, but I still choose to respect your feelings. Such actions, though not immediately phrased or acknowledged, build trust and a sense of safety in the long run.
Right.
The result reflects back to you as stronger, more secure relationships where you can be yourself without constantly being on guard.
Some might feel politeness is unnatural, though, especially if they were raised in environments where sincerity meant bluntness.
That's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
But polite language doesn't mean faking or becoming overly sweet. It's about adjusting your tone, softening certain words, and using language that shows respect. For example, instead of, you're wrong, try, perhaps we have a misunderstanding. Instead of, why didn't you think carefully? Try. Let's consider another perspective.
Yeah.
These phrases don't diminish sincerity, but add respect to the listener and elevate the interaction.
It's about the delivery.
And the intent. The difference between polite words spoken to please versus out of genuine respect lies in the intent. If spoken just to appease, the words are hollow. but is spoken politely because you understand their impact on the listener's mind, that intention radiates power, and the other person perceives your genuine effort and respect.
The source notes a powerful example with Dr. Apawat Senetham, a Thai negotiator working in conflict zones in southern Thailand.
Yes.
He stated that simply saying thank you or I'm sorry in places of deep pain wasn't ordinary. These words reduced tension and gradually allowed peace to seep in.
Wow. Simple words, huge impact.
And of course, Nelson Mandela, who used incredibly gentle words when negotiating with those who had imprisoned him for 27 years. Not from weakness,
No.
but from understanding that respectful words are the most powerful tool to change the hearts of former adversaries.
When you choose polite language in situations where others resort to emotion, you are deciding not to let others control your reaction.
You're taking control back.
Simultaneously, you are shaping how others perceive you as someone stable, mature, and worthy of respect. This is a powerful long-term benefit, a quiet but firm reflection that returns to you. The change begins with just a few words. If we can change our language, the atmosphere shifts, relationships transform, and our own lives can change as well.
Following on from that, the profound impact of attentive listening. In a world where everyone yearns to be heard, being an attentive listener has become a truly rare and highly valued quality.
It really has. While many believe eloquent speaking is the most vital skill for building relationships, true and deep connections often don't stem from beautiful words.
Yeah.
Instead, they blossom when the other person feels genuinely heard, not just observed in silence while you wait for your turn to speak, not merely nodded at out of politeness, but truly listened to with an open heart.
I think it's important to remember that the genesis of good listening isn't in the ears, but in the heart.
Well said.
If your mind is filled with your own internal monologue, with a desire to speak, to be recognized, or a fear of losing face, then your listening will be merely physical stillness, not true receptive listening.
Which leads to misunderstandings.
Exactly. Incomplete communication and the other person feeling unheard or uncared for. We see this in workplaces during meetings, where we're silent but merely waiting for our opportunity to express our own ideas rather than truly understanding the other person's perspective.
The thoughts you harbor while listening are critically important as they dictate how you will respond. If you are constantly forming counterarguments, debating, or planning your reply, you won't genuinely hear what the other person is trying to convey.
You're just reloading.
Exactly. However, if your thoughts are focused solely on understanding, you begin to perceive their feelings, their worldview, and their true needs behind their words. This depth of understanding holds immense power. It can transform conflict into cooperation, bridge gaps, and empower hesitant individuals to speak their truth, knowing their voice will be valued.
What are some of the common obstacles to attentive listening that you've noticed? I find impatience and haste are big ones.
Definitely. And the assumption that we already know what the other person will say. Familiarity with close ones often leads us to listen less, even though they are the ones who need to be heard most deeply.
That's a sad irony.
Another obstacle is the desire to assert oneself. We fear that if we don't speak, our thoughts won't be seen, leading us to interrupt or interject without realizing we're becoming poor listeners.
So how do we get better?
One effective technique to become a better listener without forcing yourself is to listen with a questioning mindset, not waiting to interrupt, but listening to uncover. Ask yourself, how do they truly feel? Why do they think that way? Is there anything they're not saying directly?
Okay.
You might set an internal goal to ask one open-ended question after they finish speaking to show you are listening, such as, can you explain more? Or, is there anything still bothering you? Even a small question like this can remarkably unravel communication.
When you consistently practice attentive listening until it becomes a habit, you will begin to see its positive reflections in your life. Those around you will feel safer speaking to you, trust will deepen, closed hearts will open, and hesitant individuals will express their views. Ultimately, you will become influential without needing to say much. Because people will readily listen to you only when they know you have genuinely listened to them first. In a world where everyone craves to be heard, being an attentive listener has become a rare and truly valuable gift. Pause. When we listen intently until it becomes a habit, we see the reflection. Others feel safe speaking to us. Trust grows. Closed hearts open. Hesitant people share their views. Pause. Pauses. Ultimately, you'll become influential without speaking much because people will readily listen to you when they know you truly listen to them first.
And this ties directly into another vital strength, the inner glow of gratitude. Practicing gratitude, even for the smallest things, may seem ordinary
Yeah, almost cliche sometimes.
and often overlooked, but it is, in fact, one of the most powerful small habits for cultivating inner happiness.
The moment you genuinely express gratitude, you shift your mental focus from what is lacking to what you possess.
Instantly.
You halt the cycle of wanting and comparison, silencing that nagging feeling of not enough, and instead return to valuing the abundance surrounding you right now. It's like exercising a mental muscle, isn't it?
Exactly. Daily gratitude is like exercising a mental muscle. The more you practice, the stronger your mind becomes, especially on days when things don't go as planned. It alleviates tension by preventing you from spending your entire day fixated on negative aspects.
Hmm.
Gratitude isn't just saying thank you, it's truly feeling that you've received something meaningful, whether it's an opportunity, kind words from someone, or even the warm morning sunlight. This kind of gratitude helps you notice the small, overlooked details that collectively form life's happiness.
I think the distinction between genuine gratitude and merely polite thank yous is important.
It is. The distinction lies in intention and underlying feeling. An automatic thank you, though polite, has no real impact on either the speaker or the listener if it lacks sincerity.
Agreed. It's empty.
In contrast, heartfelt gratitude, even whispered or brief, is palpable. The feeling is real, the respect is clear, and positive effects follow naturally without forced effort.
How can we cultivate this?
Yeah. You can cultivate this habit with simple methods. List 3 things you are grateful for each day. Or, during moments of intense exhaustion, pause and ask yourself what good things still remain, no matter how small a bed to sleep in, a friend who texts back, a stranger's unexpected smile.
Mm.
This approach isn't about deluding yourself into a falsely optimistic view. It's about choosing to see another, gentler truth that energizes your life forward.
The source shares a powerful personal anecdote here. A hot, congested bus ride where passengers were irritable.
Oh boy.
A delivery man, burdened with a heavy bag, boarded with a smile. He thanked the driver for waiting, then turned to passengers saying, "Thank you for making space for me. I'm so tired today."
Wow. What happened?
The atmosphere on the entire bus immediately shifted. People relaxed, some smiled, some nodded. No one knew him, but his few words of gratitude instantly cooled the collective mood.
Amazing.
This experience made the narrator reflect on how often we wait for grand events or perfect days to feel grateful, overlooking the quiet kindness that can emerge from a single stranger.
And another example, a cleaner at a local hospital. A long-term patient wrote a letter of profound thanks, describing how the cleaner's simple morning greetings, inquiries about his well-being, and encouraging words, even for just a few seconds, changed his life.
Seriously?
He wrote that he had decided not to end his life because of her quiet words. Tomorrow will be better. Fight on. I believe you'll get better. In that moment, he felt truly seen. Pause.
That's incredibly moving.
Cultivating gratitude doesn't merely change our words. It transforms how we perceive the world, how we value others, and it empowers us to offer hope to someone else without needing power or fame. Simply feeling genuine gratitude for what is right in front of you is enough to improve your life little by little in a sustainable way.
Building on that theme of subtle yet powerful expressions, let's explore the healing power of a genuine smile.
Ah, the smile. A smile that truly originates from the heart is the simplest, most invaluable gift you can offer the world.
Costs nothing.
Costs nothing, yet possesses immense power to transform the atmosphere, feelings, and even the hearts of those around you in an instant. A genuine smile is a silent language, communicating directly and profoundly to the soul. It conveys, I am open, I am not a threat, and I truly see you here.
What's the difference between a polite smile and a truly heartfelt one?
The distinction lies in the underlying emotion. A smile given out of duty or to maintain an image often has the form but lacks the warmth and connection.
Yeah, eyes don't smile.
Exactly. A genuine smile, however, allows inner warmth to radiate through your eyes, facial muscles, and a certain energy that cannot be faked. People intuitively sense this authenticity because the human mind is remarkably adept at recognizing true feelings.
Mm.
Scientifically, when you smile genuinely, your brain releases happiness hormones like endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin. These help reduce stress, alleviate anxiety, and restore your mental energy. A smile not only positively impacts others, but also serves as a self-healing mechanism on days when your own emotions are unstable.
So smiling can actually make you feel better, too.
Yes, many mistakenly believe they must feel good to smile. But the truth is, initiating a smile can actually improve your mood. Your physical actions can send signals back to your brain, subtly easing your emotional state.
So, how can someone practice this, even if they don't naturally feel like smiling?
Practicing a genuine smile, even when you don't feel like it, isn't about self-deception. It's about accepting that even if life isn't perfect, you can still offer warmth to others. Sometimes, simply seeing someone smile back is enough to comfort yourself without needing any words.
Okay.
Simple exercises.
Yeah.
Smile at yourself in the mirror each morning, perhaps saying, "Today, I am still valuable to this world." Or try smiling at one stranger each day and observe their reaction. These small actions can begin to transform your inner self.
It reminds me of a simple daily scenario. Imagine two people reacting to the office coffee machine breaking down.
Okay.
The first immediately complains, "Why am I so unlucky this morning? Why isn't this ever maintained?" Their entire day begins with irritation, and they subtly transmit this negative energy to those around them.
Yeah, brings everyone down.
The second person, however, offers a small smile and quietly says, "Well, I guess I'll try drinking plain water today." Maybe it's an unplanned detox.
Yeah.
His smile not only protects his own peace of mind, but also makes others around him laugh, noticeably relaxing the atmosphere in the room.
Simple, but effective. The source also recounts meeting a sticky rice and fried chicken vendor in a market. She didn't use sweet words or elegant language, but she smiled warmly and genuinely at everyone who passed by.
Just a natural warmth.
Each time the narrator bought food from her, it felt like returning home, despite being strangers. This ordinary woman used her smile to connect with countless people. On the narrator's most exhausting days, just her smile reminded them that the world always holds beauty.
That's lovely.
A small, heartfelt smile may seem insignificant in our fast-paced world, but when it's offered with sincerity, it possesses profound power to interrupt stress, transform an atmosphere, and subtly, yet deeply, ignite hope in someone who is feeling overwhelmed. Pause.
The entire world may not change instantly, but one person's heart certainly can. All you need to do is start smiling from your heart today.
And as we're talking about nonverbal communication, connecting through eye contact is another truly powerful one.
Oh, yes. Your eyes don't just see, they can send and receive profound feelings without a single word.
That's it. When you make eye contact while speaking, it sends a clear signal. I am fully present with you, I am listening, I am open, and I'm attentive. No matter how well chosen your words, without eye contact, the interaction lacks true emotional connection.
hmm
The eyes, as the source emphasizes, are a language the heart understands before any spoken word.
So, what exactly does good eye contact convey?
It instantly conveys many things. The sincerity behind your words, your confidence in what you're saying, and your true intentions, whether it's compassion, concern, or even a reluctance to open up. Someone who confidently maintains eye contact when speaking important things demonstrates inner stability and the courage to be seen, openly expressing their feelings. Conversely, someone who avoids eye contact, speaks without looking at you, or constantly shifts their gaze,
Yeah.
is often interpreted as lacking confidence, hiding something, or simply wanting to get the conversation over with, rather than truly connecting.
Avoiding eye contact isn't a minor detail then. It severely impacts trustworthiness.
Severely.
Yeah.
Especially in situations demanding confidence, like job interviews, business negotiations, or even communicating with close family.
Mm-hmm.
In an interview, if a candidate speaks well but avoids eye contact, the interviewer will subconsciously feel they are unprepared or unconfident, even if not explicitly stated. This visual cue significantly influences the other person's judgment. In negotiations, a lack of eye contact can erode trust, leading the other party to suspect a lack of transparency or sincerity.
For someone who struggles with making eye contact, maybe finds it awkward or intimidating, what are some practical techniques to practice?
You can practice appropriate eye contact without staring intently. That's key. Don't stare.
Right.
Use a rhythmic approach. Make eye contact at the beginning of the sentence, subtly break it while speaking, perhaps looking slightly away, and then reestablish it at the end of the sentence.
Okay, so it's not constant.
Not constant, no. Begin practicing with close family or in a mirror, then gradually extend to colleagues, clients, and even strangers. The initial awkwardness will diminish as your brain learns that eye contact is about connection, not confrontation. When your mind understands it's not being judged, it will naturally become more comfortable with eye contact.
The source highlights many scenarios where eyes convey more than words.
Yes. When a dear friend is going through their worst and can't articulate their pain, simply looking into their eyes and nodding gently can be enough to convey understanding, empathy, and your unwavering presence.
Saying, "I'm here."
Exactly. In families where spoken words of love are rare, quiet eye contact during significant life Moments like parents sending a child off to university or a graduation ceremony can communicate a lifetime of unspoken affection.
Research supports this too.
It does. Research from the University of Michigan found that maintaining eye contact for just 30% of a conversation can increase trust between conversational partners by 60% compared to no eye contact.
60%, that's huge.
And Harvard Business Review revealed that executives who maintain eye contact and use their gaze to communicate in meetings are more likely to be perceived as leaders than those who speak well but avoid eye contact.
Interesting.
Eye contact conveys clarity, transparency, and inner stability.
All of this tells us that eye contact is not merely a physical action, it's a deep emotional signal with profound influence. Pause.
If you practice it until it becomes natural, it'll transform how people respond to you, how you perceive others, and most importantly, how your heart communicates itself to the world more clearly without needing many words at all.
Just dare to make eye contact confidently and gently, and the world will begin to trust you before a single word is even uttered.
And just as important as eye contact is the warmth of your voice. Your voice is the bridge connecting your words to the listener's heart.
In a world saturated with noise and rapid-fire communication, a warm tone of voice serves as a comforting sanctuary for those listening.
It really does.
Yeah.
A warm voice isn't just pleasant to hear. It makes the listener feel safe, trusted, and open. Even ordinary words, when delivered with a gentle tone, yield vastly different results. Because while the spoken content might be forgotten tomorrow, the feeling conveyed by your voice will linger.
The tone of your voice directly affects the listener's nervous system, doesn't it? Especially in sensitive situations.
Absolutely. Offering comfort, negotiating, apologizing. A warm tone helps the listener feel that you are not attacking or trying to win, but rather that you are there to understand, to listen, and to create a space where their voice is valued. Many relationships crumble due to ordinary words delivered with a harsh tone, while many relationships survive and thrive because ordinary words are spoken with a tone that evokes love, respect, and genuine intent.
So how can someone develop a warm tone without sounding weak or, overly soft?
That's a good question. Practicing a warm tone doesn't mean speaking softly to the point of weakness or lacking authority. On the contrary, a warm and stable voice can coexist harmoniously.
Okay.
You can train your voice by adjusting its pitch to a mid to low range, speaking slightly slower, and pausing to allow the listener to process information. Crucially, practice aligning your voice with the feelings in your heart. Avoid faking.
Be genuine.
Simply reduce haste and the raw emotion behind your words and infuse every word with the intention to honor and care for the listener.
Are there signals that our tone might be off?
Yes, there are clear signals that you might be using a tone that negatively impacts others. Listeners become quiet, appear tense, hesitate to speak further, or avoid eye contact. These reactions often stem from a tone that is abrupt, unnecessarily harsh, or subtly sarcastic.
Which can be common.
Common in workplaces or even within families. The good news is that this can change instantly the moment you become aware and choose a softer tone in your next sentence. Because change can begin the very second you choose to act with new intention.
One of the clearest examples of the power of voice is Barack Obama.
Ah, yes.
He wasn't a leader known for shouting or aggressive language. Instead, he employed a calm, steady, and warm tone that conveyed respect to his audience, even to those who disagreed with him.
That measured tone.
His ability to speak slowly and clearly, using a warm yet firm tone, instilled trust, making people listen with their hearts, not just their ears.
You may not be a president, and you may not have a grand stage, but every single day you have people around you listening to your voice, whether it's colleagues, your partner, or your children. Your voice in every interaction is the most powerful tool you possess to create a safe space for them. And significantly, when you use a warm tone with others, that warmth will reflect back to you.
Right.
Just like building a home filled with understanding, love, and peace. A home that begins with a single word spoken from a heart and a voice ready to heal, not to harm. Pause. Your voice doesn't need to be the loudest or the most beautiful. It simply needs to come from a heart that desires to connect, not to conquer. This alone can change someone's life, and one day it will change yours in return.
Building on that self-respect, Having your own style isn't just about fashion.
No, much deeper.
It's a nonverbal language, a
Yeah.
firm declaration of who you are, what you believe in, and the courage to stand authentically without needing to compare yourself to anyone else.
A unique style is one of those powerful qualities that makes a person memorable, not because they tried to imitate someone, but because they dared to be unlike anyone else. When someone walks past you and leaves a lasting impression, it's rarely because they were perfect, but because they had the courage to truly be themselves.
In an era where everyone strives to create an image, build a brand, or follow trends for acceptance, the courage to be yourself has become a rare commodity.
It really has. Discovering your own style isn't about chasing what others like. It's about pausing to ask yourself, when do I feel most authentic? When do I feel most comfortable, confident, and natural?
Checking in with yourself.
Then it's about gradually learning to stand firm in that authenticity without seeking anyone's permission. When you dare to embody your own style, you project an energy of stability, and people will instinctively sense your genuine nature without you needing to sell anything.
This clear style deeply enhances your self-confidence because you know you don't need to change for every opinion or criticism.
Exactly. Your style becomes a shield, protecting you in a world where external voices can be overwhelmingly loud. It gives you a firm footing, and those around you will gradually recognize that you are not a follower, but someone who knows their own path.
What's the risk of being inauthentic then? Trying too hard.
A common pitfall arises when you try to create a style that isn't true to your authentic self. You might expend too much energy maintaining an image instead of living your real life.
Yeah.
This leads to exhaustion, superficiality, and ultimately unhappiness, no matter how good you appear.
Think of Steve Jobs. He never dressed lavishly or altered his style to appease the market.
No, that iconic turtleneck.
He consistently wore his signature black turtleneck and jeans and spoke in his own distinct manner. He understood that his authenticity was his most memorable trait.
Or Audrey Hepburn. She never tried to compete with other women's overt sex appeal. Instead, she embraced simplicity, elegance, and a dignified grace that felt most natural to her.
And her style is timeless.
Absolutely. Today, her style remains a timeless icon.
The source describes a simple literary scene. A main character wearing old clothes, sitting quietly reading under a tree by their house. They don't say anything, they don't stand out in a crowd, yet the author describes this moment as when the character felt most truly themselves, felt valuable even without being seen, and felt free from needing to prove anything to anyone.
That quiet confidence.
This scene, though quiet, powerfully conveys that true peace doesn't come from external applause, but from accepting yourself as you are, a style that cannot be imitated.
You don't need expensive clothes, eloquent speech, or social media fame to be interesting. Simply daring to be yourself in a world where everyone tries to be something else is enough to color your own small world and make your life deeply meaningful without needing anyone's permission.
And underlying all of these strengths is the bedrock of self-confidence, the inner foundation.
Yes, self-confidence doesn't originate from your physical appearance, your eloquence, or the number of people who accept you. Its roots lie far deeper, in genuine self-acceptance.
Accepting everything.
Yes, this means accepting your imperfections, acknowledging both your strengths and weaknesses, and recognizing that despite past falls or mistakes, you still have the right to move forward and grow. True confidence, therefore, isn't about creating an impressive image. It's about standing firmly in your own truth, without hiding, faking, or fearing disapproval.
A truly self-confident person exudes a quiet yet profound power, a strength that doesn't need to be announced but is palpable.
You could feel it.
They can walk into a room without uttering a word, yet people will sense their stability through their posture, eye contact, and the rhythm of their movements. This kind of confidence develops only when you build it from within, through experience, through falling and rising, and through gradually witnessing your own ability to cope with fear, disappointment, and uncertainty.
What's the difference between true self-confidence and, say, narcissism?
Good question.
The distinction lies in the direction of energy. Self-confidence means knowing you are okay as you are, so there's no need to diminish others to elevate yourself or to constantly demand attention. Narcissism, on the other hand, projects external power to conceal inner voids, needing applause to validate worth, and seeking praise to mask deep-seated fears. Maintaining a balance between confidence and humility, therefore, affirms that you know yourself well enough not to compete with anyone other than your past self.
So for someone who frequently doubts their self-worth, what are some practical steps to begin building that lasting confidence, not just faking it?
Right. Resist the urge to build confidence with empty words or curated social media posts. Instead, start by taking small, tangible actions for yourself each day.
Like what?
This could involve daring to express your opinion in a meeting, bravely wearing clothes you genuinely love even if they differ from others, or having the courage to apologize to and forgive yourself on days you make mistakes.
Ah, self-forgiveness. That's big.
As you repeat these actions, self-confidence will quietly accumulate. It doesn't need to be a grand or rapid process. Just small, consistent steps will help you regain a sense of control over your life, which is the cornerstone of lasting self-confidence.
The source draws a compelling parallel to Harry Potter. Initially, he was just a boy with nothing, unaware of his own worth,
Yeah, living under the stairs.
raised in an environment that constantly suppressed him. But as he began to learn the truth about himself, that he was not ordinary, and that something special resided within him, he dared to step forward, even when fearful.
Yeah.
He chose to stand firm for his friends, for what was right, and persisted even when he knew it would bring pain. Every time he chose courage over fear, he didn't just alter his own destiny, he transformed the fate of the entire wizarding world.
The crucial lesson here isn't about how skilled you are today, but the courage to look directly at yourself and declare, I may still be imperfect, but I refuse to let fear stop me any longer. Pause.
Powerful declaration.
Self-confidence isn't an innate quality some are born with. It's something everyone can build if they begin with the courage to love themselves first. The rest, you may find, will follow in ways you never could have anticipated.
Finally, let's talk about the simple yet profound act of dressing for respect. Cleanliness and neatness.
Dressing neatly and cleanly isn't merely about fashion or aesthetic appeal. It's a silent signal to the world that you respect yourself, and by extension, you respect the people you're about to meet.
It's nonverbal communication.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your attire is a powerful form, and most people form judgments about your trustworthiness or comfort level within the first few seconds of encountering you. The Journal of Fashion Marketing and Management found that external appearance influences first impressions by as much as 55%,
Wow, over half.
with cleanliness being a primary factor in judging trustworthiness.
And this isn't about luxury, is it? It's about intentional self-care.
Exactly. Dressing neatly and cleanly doesn't imply luxury. It means ensuring you are prepared to meet the world confidently. Ironed clothes, clean shoes, good personal hygiene are small details that speak volumes about how well you care for yourself. And when you care for yourself effectively, it naturally reflects in your posture, your eye contact, and your voice, often without any conscious effort. The feeling of confidence isn't just about external appearance. It comes from knowing you are ready, and your attire is one of the signals that provides your subconscious mind with this sense of stability.
And it also signals respect for others. Wearing appropriate attire for the occasion demonstrates that you value the place and the people you are meeting.
Yes, in professional or social contexts, this gesture of respect significantly impacts acceptance, trust, and opportunities. A study from Harvard Business School noted that job applicants who dressed neatly and professionally were more likely to be considered than those who dressed carelessly, even when their qualifications were similar.
What about individuality, though? Does dressing neatly mean conforming?
Not necessarily. While some might feel that dressing neatly forces them to conform or lose their individuality, the truth is you can dress well without having to be like everyone else. You don't need to imitate others' styles. Instead, you can choose clothes that reflect your personality while still adhering to principles of cleanliness, neatness, and appropriateness. For example, wearing a patterned shirt that highlights your character or selecting colors that make you feel vibrant doesn't mean you have to blindly follow fashion trends or adhere to an image that isn't truly you.
Finding that balance.
Dressing with your own style, within the bounds of politeness, means preserving your authenticity without neglecting the respect owed to others.
Consider the real-life story of a man who worked as a delivery driver. He was capable, but never given an opportunity to work in the office.
Okay.
One day, he started changing his attire from old t-shirts to neat shirts and trousers, and began paying attention to his hair. Not long after, he was invited to assist with paperwork in a department that was short-staffed,
Just based on appearance.
simply because his supervisor perceived him as more trustworthy. Eventually, he secured a permanent position and is now a delivery manager.
It shows how small, visible changes can open doors.
Think of a simple daily scenario. Going to a coffee shop. You'll notice that staff members often feel more confident serving customers who are neatly dressed compared to those who are carelessly dressed, even if unconsciously.
It's true. It's subtle.
This is because attire subtly communicates who we are and how much we value ourselves.
Ultimately, dressing neatly and cleanly isn't about pleasing society or crafting an image. It's a quiet declaration that you value yourself and you are ready to embrace new opportunities that may arise unexpectedly.
Pause. Sometimes life changes don't begin with grand gestures, but perhaps with a well-ironed shirt that you chose to wear on a day when you had no idea your life was about to transform forever.
We've journeyed through the subtle yet profound power of intentional daily habits and the crucial task of dismantling our own mental barriers.
They've covered a lot.
We've seen how cultivating inner strengths and mastering the silent language of connection can quietly but powerfully reshape your future. It's all about building a deep, unwavering trust in yourself and navigating life's inevitable disappointments with resilient inner strength.
And here's a thought for you to carry forward. Life isn't just about what you achieve, but truly about who you become in the process.
Mhm.
And often, the most profound changes begin in those quiet moments, in the unseen choices you make, long before the world ever recognizes or applauds. Pause.
So as you reflect on all of this, what single, small, intentional step will you dare to take today to begin building the life you truly desire?
Not for anyone else.
No, but for the quiet, deep satisfaction of your own becoming. We invite you to pick one idea that resonated most deeply with you and commit to implementing it today.